We should make a bet. I like making bets.
Oh Lord.
Like 700 push-ups if you do. No, I'm joking. Look at your face.
I was gonna say how long I got to do it.
Shit, I ain't doing 700 push-ups before the end of the year. But
oh my goodness.
no, we ain't got bet enough. Oh, you could write me a song. I mean,
write you a
yeah,
song?
for me to record, because you want me to rap more, so write me a joint and I'll record.
But like, it's not gonna compare to your lyricism.
You read a lot.
I read a lot.
I'm
yes.
pretty sure it would be good. Like, you might be.
I don't read poetry, so I don't know if the words will rhyme.
But you have a vocabulary.
I do.
You're not gonna let yourself not rhyme. You wouldn't even allow that.
All right, I'm gonna win. We ain't gonna have to.
All right, man. It's your fault. All right. Well then, let me see what I should do.
I'm first, right? Guest first and red.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
All that energy, you better win.
See, now you just threw me off. I don't like
this
somebody
too easy
playing
then.
that.
Oh, this gonna be too easy.
No,
then.
don't do that.
Don't get thrown off.
Don't do that.
Don't get thrown off easy, because I play mind games.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
I'm just messing with
like,
you.
what are we doing here? You're scaring me.
I'm not even paying no attention. And you getting scared for nothing.
I know.
You're taking a long time.
I didn't know it was time.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna take forever, you better win.
Oh my Jesus. Okay.
You might have lost already.
Oh, well, please stop. 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 You're scaring me.
Oh man.
I'm like so
scary hours. Ain't that what Drake said? Scary hours.
like, oh no.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna really let you win like that. Stop
Why
it.
not?
Stop what you're doing. Please stop. Oh man, I'm about to win.
Are you? Where?
Most likely.
For real?
I don't know. This confidence. I mean, I don't see nothing you don't see, except for right there, but.
Right here?
No.
Okay.
That's cute. Kind of cute anyway. Let's go here. Or this can be one of them.
Wait, why did you do that?
Why not?
Because I just won. Connect four.
See, then stop listening to me and play the game. You worried about nothing.
Mind games. Your assumption is very important because you definitely played some tricks on me just now.
That's because I got to make up for my lack of skill.
Oh.
So, I look at your DMs all the time. Not your DMs, I'm sorry, your IG stories.
Okay.
And I see a variety of topics. So me and you could talk about a lot of different things. We could talk religion. We could talk about books. I can't talk about books with everybody, so we can definitely talk about books.
Okay.
We could talk about the local music scene.
Okay.
We could talk about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about conspiracy theories. I feel like you'd be the best person for conspiracy theories.
Probably.
You know what? Let's get it with the conspiracy theories first. I want to talk about the conspiracy theories. So, one of my, and I ain't gonna say it's so much a conspiracy theory because it really happened. So the thing that I keep up with the most on YouTube is, you remember the Malaysian flight 370?
Yes.
What happened? I seen a lot of theories, right? So Dick Gregory, before he died, it's an army base out there in the middle of the water called Diego Garcia.
Okay.
So he think it went there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what would then happen to the people,
mm-hmm.
but we talking about our government. They can do anything.
Yes.
They took the island in the first daggone place to make it a base.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the popular Area 51.
Okay.
What do you think they doing there? Are they reverse engineering alien spacecraft, or are they just building like the airplanes and the rockets and stuff we need for war, like the jets and what do you think's happening in the area?
I feel like we don't need any more weapons. I feel like we're good on that. Honestly.
Yeah. You think we don't need any, but do you think they're building them? Is what I'm saying. Like, we may not need a lot, but
I feel like we're well equipped.
All right.
I feel like we're well equipped for sure.
But what you think they doing there? Is that what you think they're doing there? Or are they hiding them alien spacecrafts to keep crashing?
Not alien spacecraft.
Look, all right, so while we on the planes,
okay,
all these planes keep having air collisions and falling out the skies, and
yes,
drones that we ain't seen before. Like, what you think that's going? Like, this too much right now.
I haven't really pieced it together because when stuff is just so prominent, it can kind of divert your attention somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I haven't taken the time to look deep into that. It's definitely scripted. No one's just hitting planes and it happening back to back like that. Mm-hmm. But then it comes to a matter of like, what's the purpose? What's the objective?
Right. Because this country be lying to us, shorty.
Lying very much. So
is that the reason to fire everybody and start over like that? Like, you know what? You know, these people aren't trained well. Don't know what they're doing. You know what? We're just going to cut the budget to the FAA. Is the F, what is the FAA? I was about to say the FCC. Lord Jesus. But, like that type of theory, or you got somebody like me that think them aliens just tired of hiding.
You think that there's aliens?
No, I do think
you think that
no, I
aliens?
think there's aliens. I do. I rabbit hole YouTube. I'm him. I'm really him. Like, once I start watching stuff looks real believable.
Okay, tell me what you believe an alien looks like.
I don't know.
Okay.
About what they look like.
Okay.
I mean, you got all these different people to describe whatever. I don't really know about that, but
okay.
I just think we'd be real arrogant of us to think that we the only ones here.
I mean, there's animals that are in subjection to us.
Right, and then there's also animals in the ocean that we still haven't discovered. So if there's other things we haven't discovered, why not think that...
Do you think that they're physical beings, or you think
yes.
that they're... Oh, so you think that they're in the flesh?
Yeah.
And
but I also think our attention spans are so short now that... I don't even want to say that guy's name. If the president walked into the White House press conference... No, I don't even like saying his name. If the president walked into the White House conference room with his arm around the shoulder of an extraterrestrial, and then Kim Kardashian drops nudes later that day, we are no longer talking about the alien from early in the morning.
Very true.
Our attention spans are so... Like, that's why I feel like we're going to get declassified documents soon, because...
Yeah, about stuff that we already know, though. So about
Martin Luther King and all.
Yeah, it's like we already knew that.
Okay, so
Malcolm X, we already knew that. I'll say this. I don't know if they're going to put out about Malcolm X, but that might raise an eyebrow in the nation.
For sure. And with Martin Luther King's... So, I happen to know that, like, in 2 years, that these audio tapes of whatever... the FBI, the infidelity, whatever, is coming out. Do you think that's going to change everybody's perception
infidelity about Martin Luther King?
For sure.
I don't think that that's news, though. So it
I don't think, right, because if we already know, and it is what it is now, then
yeah, because I feel like people should
still did what he still did what he did as far as I'm talking about as far as helping people and leading movement. I'm saying he still did what he did.
It's interesting because, like, R. Kelly is a really great artist, and he's a musical genius, and sometimes we aren't able to separate the person from their art, so maybe the person didn't do great things. Really?
I can't.
You haven't listened to R. Kelly?
Not since then, no.
Really?
Really?
I have.
And
he's not in rotation, but
but see, this is the thing with me, right? Mm-hmm. So if I cancel something, I cancel it. I don't have to tell everybody I canceled it. Mm-hmm. I don't judge anyone who didn't cancel it. Like, I do what I do for my reasons. For example, I haven't had Subway in at least 10 years because the guy Jared was caught with, like, child pornography and all that. Mm-hmm. And with me and Santa Claus, I'm fundraising for kids that are sexually abused. So it was a confliction of my soul. Like, I couldn't. Okay. And I'm just like, food ain't that damn great, no way. So it wasn't even. But for example, all right, so I'll show you where I guess I kind of did separate. So with Bill Cosby, for example, growing up, Bill Cosby my role model. I liked how he always had the college sweatshirts on.
For how long? I'm not a Bill Cosby fan.
Growing up, I'm gonna say the character Cliff Huxtable more so than Bill Cosby, right?
Fair.
So you know, well, no, I'm gonna say Bill Cosby because the show A Different World is the reason I never went to college, but that is what made me want to go.
Okay.
So when I say Bill Cosby got canceled, I'm just like, you know what? I can believe he did what they said he did. Mm-hmm. And I didn't watch the Cosby Show because I didn't physically want to see Bill Cosby. But I still watched A Different World, even though he produced that show. Mm-hmm. He's not on that show. So I guess I did separate the person and the art. So,
did you?
I mean, I could have stopped watching A Different World. It would have hurt because I love the show, but I didn't stop watching the show. So I just stopped watching his, where he was physically on it.
You just didn't want to see him? I
didn't want to see him because it was like I was discussing. I'm like, bro, I really looked up to you. It was like the business moves he was making and what he was doing for his people. And I'm just like, I really admired that. So when that happened, I was just like, bro, like seeing him, it's like, damn, it's the disappointment. So I didn't physically want to see his face. But I still watched the other show he produced.
So R. Kelly wrote for a lot of people. So do you then listen to the songs of the people that he wrote but just not hear his voice?
Okay, so story with that. I started listening to people he wrote for. I started listening to songs differently.
Okay.
I was listening to the soundtrack to the movie Life, right? So Casey and JoJo got the song on there. Everybody like Maxwell has Fortunate,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on the Life soundtrack. Me knowing R. Kelly wrote Fortunate, I'm washing the dishes, so I couldn't like just stop. My hands is wet, right? And I was just like, I'm listening to Fortunate, and I'm listening to it different. No, I didn't know R. Kelly wrote it at the time,
Okay.
and I'm listening to the lyrics, and it's a lot of baby, not lady. I'm like, why not use lady? It rhymes the same way.
Okay.
Like if you want to say the lady is crazy, like why say crazy and why say baby?
Mm-hmm.
Like why not rhyme it with lady? Like and it stood out, and I was like, let me Google something real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, I'd be damned. R. Kelly wrote it, and I just felt like he's been hinting at stuff the whole time. Like this is just the fact that those lyrics stood out to me that day, and I went to Google it and it was actually R. Kelly. I was just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's a song I think it's called "Listen" or something. Marvin Sapp has. I can't play it no more because I know R. Kelly wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Even during the pandemic when they were doing the verses,
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond. Kirk Franklin chose not to play the song that R. Kelly is on with Mary J. Blige.
Mm-hmm.
That Lean on Me song. I skip it on that CD. So
What exactly did R. Kelly do?
I believe whatever he's accused of. I don't even know all the charges, but I believe whatever he's accused of.
Because what?
I'm gonna tell you why. I believe. All right. So even with Bill Cosby's situation, so people say, a celebrity of mild celebrity status shouldn't have to take anything, right? Like that's what people were saying about Tupac. Like, why would he do that? And all these women wanted him. So my thing when I looked at Bill Cosby, right? You got money, and I'm sure it's people that were throwing themselves at him.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you got 10 women in a room, 9 women want you.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine him wanting the one that didn't, because it's like, how dare you resist me? Like,
Right.
why don't? So that's why I believe that whatever they're accused of, they did. I don't know. Like these gut feelings. Like we with any crime, anything, we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what you feel in your gut. Like I could feel that this president isn't that versus this president. Of course, I don't know 100% for sure, based unless it's actions that I've been aware of. But like I wasn't there, but I don't know. Like sometimes you just look a person in the face and you're just like, yo, he lying, or they looking at them in the camera, or talking to him in an interview. You learn how to read body language and different stuff, and it's just like, yo, I don't believe you. And for me, that's what it was.
Okay.
Like if I was on a jury, I'm like, why he looking to the left so much? Like I don't know. Like I was taught in school that when they do that, they lying. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's that type of stuff with me.
So you're done with Trey Songz, you're done with Diddy and all his productions.
Yeah, that sucks.
And Trey Songz?
I wasn't never really listening to Trey anyway. I really wasn't. Like I can't. I know 2 or 3 songs. You know, I mean the old joint on Drake's album and Birthday Set, but like I wasn't listening to Trey Songz nowhere. I'll tell you this.
Okay.
I see people have forgiven Chris Brown, and I haven't, because I believe he's really a violent person.
So you don't listen to Chris Brown either?
No.
Nothing.
I don't listen to Kanye West. I haven't listened to Kanye West in 10 years.
What's your issue with Kanye?
I just feel like he lost his damn mind.
So you not listening to him does what?
Nothing.
So why not listen to him? Are you just not a fan of his music?
No, I was a fan of Kanye's music.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped listening to him because of the music, though.
Okay.
Before any MAGA or political views or anything else crazy said, when he made the 808s and Heartbreaks, like the album was just like, I'm like, I don't want to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that his mother died and that was probably a part of it, but I'm just like, he might have lost a part of himself he can't get back.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Lauryn Hill. It's like when she did that MTV Unplugged thing, I was just like, yo,
Yeah.
what did we do to this lady? Like,
Right.
but Miseducation is like X Factor, my favorite song of all time.
Me too.
Fake want to be like, it's cool, but I don't know. Like, so why do you choose to still listen to these people? So you're able to separate?
I'm definitely able to separate. I don't think that you should. If you like an art, you like an art. Like they're still really great at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I would downplay any of them because of what they've done on the personal side.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it's not even an agree to disagree. It's just like, okay, you have your way of thinking and I have mine. Like, it's not going to cause any friction. I'm not going to ever be stop being your friend. Like, it doesn't change anything for me. Now, I'll say this. having enough respect for your friend
Mm-hmm.
or your folks to not do something around them that you know make them uncomfortable though.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like if you knew I didn't want to hear that, I don't feel like you would play it if we were just hanging out.
So do you think that R. Kelly should be neglected, or do you think that he should have some sort of rehabilitation, some therapy because of what he experienced young? This isn't just a person that woke up with power and just said, I'm going to do these malicious things.
So the thing about that is most people that do that type of stuff had it done to them.
Correct. And he did.
Now as far as rehabilitation, that's the problem with our penal system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's set up for rehabilitation.
Right.
Like that's why people come out work like cause for one you're in there trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I thought the prison system was set up to rehabilitate somebody,
Mm-hmm.
if that was possible, then who knows if anybody could change. I mean, we've seen examples of where people changed.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten out of prison or maybe even never went to prison. They had some traumatic situation, near death experience, and they got their life together. Like, but who knows if that experience has happened for him?
Mm-hmm.
If it could, like every that's the thing about life. Everybody is it's a situational basis. Like we're not the same.
Right.
So
Do you believe in humiliation rituals?
what do you mean?
So R. Kelly has been doing what R. Kelly has been doing for years.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Dame Dash, Jay-Z. Like, this isn't new. This just comes up, 20 plus years later? And so, if you don't abide by something that's asked of you, if you have a product or something that they want to take over, it could be any reasoning that's like, okay, cool, we're going to pull the
Somebody
plug
stop.
in there, we're going to turn
They
everybody.
stopped following the rules of
Yes.
the game. I mean, it sounds plausible.
It happens more often.
I'm not saying I clearly haven't put any thought into it, but I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's plausible. I don't know. Like, this is the thing with me. I can believe anything, but because I've been accused of stuff,
Mhm.
I don't just jump to believe anything you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people say that I was scamming with money that I was fundraising for, and as you see, there's donation stuff
A lot
all
of
over the
stuff,
table.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess when you know you didn't do it, like you don't even. It's like, do you respond to it? Are you like me and you just make fun of it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna use it to be fun. Like, I'm gonna put the word scammer across my video asking for donations because it's humorous to
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just like, if you believe in God, just like, okay, they're gonna be judged when they're judged. But if something in your spirit just doesn't sit right with it, then like, why bring the negative energy into it? And if there's that doubt in my mind of whether he's a good person, or I'm like, you know what, I think he might have did it, then I don't want to listen to him because now I can't enjoy the art no more because all I'm thinking about is what I think that he may have done. So that's what's ruining it for me.
Okay, so that makes sense because media does do programming, so it will seep into your mind and dictate your decisions. Did you vote?
Yeah.
You're registered to vote?
I voted for John F. Kennedy.
That's the last time you voted?
I was not old enough to vote for John. I just want you to know that. I want you to know that, yes, I'm registered to vote. I've been registered to vote since back when Harriet Tubman was freeing the slaves.
So you have voted?
Yes, a lot.
Like even in recent time for the recent
yes.
presidency?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Why vote? Why do something just to do it?
I didn't do it just to do it.
Well, okay, then why'd you do it?
I actually hate Donald Trump. I've hated him since I was a child.
So you voted against him?
Yeah, and the country voted against me.
Did you? Okay, so the vote wasn't for Kamala; it was against Trump. Is that what you're saying?
No, those weren't the only two.
Oh, so you voted for someone else?
Ross Perot.
Why not?
So I'm having fun. I'm having fun with you right now because, for one, I don't know how our conversation turned into you interviewing me. Two.
It's been
No,
long since I interviewed.
I know, and we're going to talk about that too. So two, there's three things I don't discuss, especially online. Like, I'm not arguing with people. I don't discuss religion,
Okay.
politics,
Uh-huh.
or abortion.
Why?
I just
Why?
don't.
Are you afraid to get back?
I'm not afraid of a
I'm
damn.
pretty
I'm
sure
not afraid of
me
a.
saying
I'm not
that-
afraid of a damn thing. And I guess I just lied because we already kind of talked about religion to a degree.
You brought up God.
I did,
Yeah.
and I will. I should have had my pray hoodie on actually.
Why not? I want to know. Seriously, you have a platform like this. You have
Because what I noticed, especially online,
okay.
or even in person, like people argue, wait for their opening to say what they say. Like they're not listening to get another person's perspective. I feel like me and you could give each other's perspective. I'm like, you know what? I'm not changing mine, but I still I see why you did what you did. I see where you're coming from.
We weren't there.
But you can't do that. No, but I'm just saying any topic. You can't do that with a lot of people.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to argue. At this big age, I'm not doing no arguing. Like I watch things online now and everybody's in an uproar and I just be like, damn, it feel good to be the old guy in the room that don't really care either way. Some of these things I'm indifferent. Like I'm watching people like, oh no, it's this way or it's that way, and I'm just like, man, you don't have to attend every fight you're invited to. Like
that is very true.
You know what I'm saying? So with abortion, so there's this thing, right, about abortion, right? It's like, okay, you can't tell a woman what to do with her body, right? Now, in the same circumstance, she didn't get pregnant on her own. So the male is involved. The baby came from the male to start with.
Okay.
I'm still not giving an opinion. I'm just saying that there's a lot more to discuss than just whatever your reason is. And I don't want to say it's fear or whatever. I mean, and I also understand that there's the rape scenario, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if me and you are dating, you get pregnant, like this is, to me, this is the decision with us. Like, I'd hate to find out that you went and got an abortion and you never even discussed it with me. Like, that would cause some turmoil. You know what I'm saying? But, again, I feel like everything's situational. Like, if someone's homeless and they don't want to bring the baby into that situation, like, I understand it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or this is an abusive household and, like, I've been beating you up and you don't want your baby to, like, so there's factors in everything, you know what I'm saying? But if you're scared, I'm just like, damn, I'm here with you. Like, let's talk about. So there's discussions that need to be had, you know what I'm saying? In some scenarios. Now, like I said, the rape scenario is a different case. There's other factors, but I just don't think everything's so cut and dry.
That's fair. So you pretty much shared your stance without being very specific.
I mean, I can give my stance. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't duck smoke. I'm not like afraid of no backlash. I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, but you also have an online presence, and that can cause people to
it can
feel a way about you.
It can, or it can open their eyes to a different perspective.
Okay.
Or not. And see, this is the thing, right? So like, I lose followers a lot because I go so hard, like trying to fundraise, right? And I don't get mad because I'm just like, some of those people are like my close friends. I'm like, I can still call them. I'll still see them and still love them. Like, maybe they look at my page like, oh, he's a club promoter now. He's just promoting all that. If that's not what you want to see, that's not what you want to see. That's fine. I don't take that personal. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it's my, like, you don't have to attach to it. So, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's doing something you don't like, it's cool to remove yourself. But then sometimes when you stick around long enough to get to know a person, you be like, okay, well, I didn't like that thing about him, but I love this. There was someone that once told me that they didn't like me at first because they thought I was bragging about the giving, until they noticed that it's really just a way of life. It's second nature is what I do. So sometimes you have to stick around to see what you need to see.
Bragging, I mean, it's a perspective. So it's a lens.
I mean, look, I look on Facebook, and Facebook asks the question, what are you doing? If I happen to be donating $500, then that's what I'm doing. I mean,
okay.
But sometimes, like, so with that, right, I say, if I'm giving $500, you may look at your $5 like, oh my God, what's the point, right? But I might subconsciously be trying to get you to be like, all right, you know what? If he gave 500, I can give 20. I got 20. Like this is the positive peer pressure, or you can just not at all. It's your money and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm telling you what I'm doing. Right. Like, in case you want to match me, in case you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so everything's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
So.
Kind of. Yes.
Yes. No. No. Yes.
There's some facts.
Okay.
There's some facts. Like I believe the world has moved away from a lot of black and white, and there's a lot of gray areas, and everything's just becoming okay. And we need to install some order. So there needs to be definite things.
All right. So I'll say this. Sometimes you don't share a view or perspective because you haven't had the shared experience that another person's had, right? So, for example, all right. So let's talk. Let's just talk about all the topics. Let's talk about them, right?
Okay.
So we got sexuality is a big thing now, right?
Yes.
I'm not gay,
Mm-hmm.
but I've also never at a point in time had an issue with anyone that was gay. Not before it was the topic of discussion,
mm-hmm.
even as a child. Like, I just didn't care. Like, I saw whoever you were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then by the time I got in high school, I ain't gonna lie, the gay guy had all the beautiful girls around at all times. It was like, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like, yeah. I didn't care. Like, I'm just like, all right, he do something different than me. This person got an afro. This person got a shortcut. This person's light skin. This person's brown skin. This person has mental health issues. This person, like, I don't know if it's because of where I grew up at. Like, I grew up in the Carrollton. Like, my whole street was white with the exception of one family.
Okay.
So, my next door neighbor in Capitol Heights, their daughter, special education. Mm-hmm. I just was accustomed to being around different things, so maybe that's what it was. But I also feel like the hatred towards anything is a learned behavior. So if your parents were ignorant in whatever way, and when I say ignorant, I mean just not knowing any other way is just what they're accustomed to, then. But with me, like, I don't care. Now I have a sister-in-law that's gay, and I'm like, she's cool as a fucking fan. So it's just like, ain't shit wrong with gay people. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought it was anything wrong with them in the first place.
Gotcha.
Like, don't hit on me, but you know what I'm saying? That's just. Then again, I'm just like, damn, bro, you think I'm cute too? I'm playing. Like, but see, I'm so secure with myself. Like, I can even play like that. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, you are who you are. I'm not in your bedroom. I do not care. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when it comes to children, do you believe I'm not going to push pink or blue on you or dolls or dinosaurs? I'll let you in the store and you tell me what you want me to buy, and then we're going to allow you to grow up however it looks for you.
Of course. I've always been that person.
Interesting.
Like, why would I? So, I'm gonna take a lot of things back to like charity, right? Okay. So, Poet has a toy giveaway every Christmas, and she stopped allowing the parents to go to the table with the kids. So the toys are separated by age groups, right? Mm-hmm. So some kid may go up to the table and want this remote. Mm-hmm. This is what they want to play with. Mm-hmm. This costs 37 cents. This right there costs $15. Mm-hmm. The parents, when they were allowed to go, put that back. I can get you that. Get that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay.
They wanted this. This is what made them happy. Mm-hmm. This is more expensive, though. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the same scenario to me. Like, why would I do that?
So you don't feel like you should create a foundation for children? Just kind of let them move?
I'm not gonna say I wouldn't create a foundation, but like I'm not forcing something upon you. Like, okay, I was a failed basketball player. I'm gonna make my son play basketball because he's 6'5". I'm gonna make him play basketball. He won't play the violin. He won't play the violin. You see what I'm saying? Like, because it is a resentment that's gonna come with that. Mm-hmm. And why would you want that?
You wouldn't. Okay, so then how would you, since we're talking about sexuality, if a child, and I say children because adults, you more so can make your decision. You've had an experience of life, but a kid might want to know something more, and so they want to know from an adult. So they say, okay, I'm having some kind of feelings. I'm not really sure if I like a boy or like a girl, but, you know, I don't want to displease God because of whatever perception that is. Mm-hmm. How do you speak to that?
Well, if it's I don't want to displease God, then it's a whole nother conversation, because that means the child knows God for themselves. So it's like whatever the belief system is, whether it's Christianity, Muslim, or whatever, then it's like if you're that concerned with God, then you're going to be looking at His words for the guidance. Like, okay. That to me, that's an easy answer. Because I'm like, if you're that fearing of God, and I'm like, I want to do what God wants me to do, then you can just flat out read what it is that God wants. You see what I'm saying? So that's not even a difficult question to ask.
So then it more so is there has to be some sort of foundation.
I mean, if my child is in my house and they're adapting to my way of life,
okay,
then I don't even feel like that discussion comes up.
Okay.
Because if they're following the way they see me live my life, then that conversation doesn't even, I don't see that happening. Because they're already trying to be like dad or their parent. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And if my child comes to me and say, I don't know if I like boys or girls, I'm just like, you're not dating until you're 25 anyway, so I don't even see the...
Be for
like,
real.
I am dead serious.
Be
Like, what do you mean?
real.
Like, what do you mean? Like, we're not... Because you're not about to experiment to find out. Not my 12-year-old child coming to me. I'm not... I mean, I can't have that conversation with you because I don't want you to be doing anything. So we're not... I understand
but
the kids sneak and do things.
But when did you have your first relationship? Or your first little girlfriend? Or your first kiss?
My first little girlfriend. Don't be just like my first girlfriend was big girlfriend. You mean? What I mean? I mean, I'm sure I was in elementary school.
Okay, and that's when you it starts kind of.
But I knew what I liked. It was no question. I didn't have any question. I knew.
I think sometimes it's not really a question. It's I know what I'm supposed to do.
It wasn't I know what I'm supposed to do. I knew what I liked.
I ain't talking about you.
You just asked me about my little girlfriend.
If your kid comes to you and says, I'm gay, what is your response? Then
they already got a decision. Like, what? I can't change that. What, I'm supposed to whoop it out of them?
What do you say?
I don't take a belt and beat it out of them. That's for sure.
I just said, what do you say to that?
I don't, like, it depends on their age. Like, you don't know what you are. You ain't done nothing yet. 13, they don't know. You don't know what you are. You don't know what you are.
That's what you're going to say?
Yes, I'm going to say you don't know what you are. Who have you dated?
Oh, my God.
Who have you dated?
You're crazy.
Who have you dated? You have done nothing with nobody to know what you like. I'm joking. It don't matter. You still waiting before you do the things. That's all I'm saying.
So it's like, okay, so you support whatever it is.
I'm going to always support I'm not going to not love my child.
I didn't say not love.
Look, it's people out there. You know why? I think people lie a lot when they say, oh, my child ain't going to be this, or I'm not going to support him if that. Like, I've heard people say that. And I know it's not true because people go bail out their child that just committed whatever heinous crime. They still love their child. You love your child.
Right.
It is with it. Like, man, you got certain situations where parents and kids are, but for the most part, like, young, you're going to love your child. Just like it's people coming home that are snitching all crazy and they mans and families still defending them because at the end of the day, that's your peoples. And you got the memory you have with them. So like when people fall out, right? Let's say you and a mutual friend of ours, you fall out with them.
Okay.
I'm not the pick sides type.
Really?
I am so not the pick sides type. I believe that. I really believe that. I'm going to tell you why I'm not the pick sides type. Because when you and our mutual friend possibly get back together,
okay,
how are both of y'all looking at me?
I get that aspect, and
if I chose them over you, and you and them get back together, you don't look at me the same. And why me and you got beef? Because y'all had beef. Me and you were good.
I would continue to have beef with you.
That's crazy to me.
You think so?
But that's if I chose them. I ain't choosing though. So when y'all get y'all damn life together, me, you, and them, we still cool. I'm cool with them. I'm cool with you.
It depends on why the falling out occurred.
Now, yeah, if I feel like you did something and you were just wrong, I'm going to check you. Because if me and you are that cool, I'm going to be like, yo, now you know you was wrong. I think you need to apologize. But that's me. If I'm not going to try to help it, then I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to put it that way. I'm going to try to fix it if it's fixable.
Okay.
Now, if that person did something and they just completely violated you, I'm not leaving myself in a position where they could ever try that with me. Because they've showed that they're capable of doing that to a person.
Correct.
Now, if it's just something where y'all two didn't click,
that's different.
I'm not picking no sides. I'm not choosing. I'm gonna try to fix it or I'm gonna stay out of it. Now, if me and you are still cool and me and that person still cool and y'all got some little, to me, what I deem a small issue, no, I'm not going out with them all the time, posting all these pictures on the timeline for you to see. I'm not.
Okay.
But are me and that person still having that phone call? Yeah. And me and you still having that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not throwing you in their face or vice versa.
Okay.
I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I wouldn't want it. Like, I'm always treat people how I want to be treated.
So a group of 3 friends, you think that everybody has the same closeness equivalently? No, right? There's somebody that's drawn a little bit more closer than the other.
Probably not. Yeah.
I definitely support picking sides.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna tell you.
If there's ever a situation that calls for picking sides, and you don't pick a side, and I'm involved,
okay,
you exit it out.
All right. It was nice knowing you.
Bye.
I mean, I'm gonna stand on what I stand on the same way you stand. Like, why would I? Oh my God, I'm gonna lose Diamond as a friend. All right, so I, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I pick the other person, I'm gonna lose them as a friend. Like, I think it's messed up of y'all two to put me in that situation.
I used to feel that way until I've been on each side of it.
All right.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that. It gets murky waters, but it really depends. Like, if it's something
everything
trivial,
in life is a situation.
If it's trivial, I don't really care. Like, that's, as long as you don't talk to me about that person and vice versa.
I'm gonna try. Like I said, I'm gonna try to fix it if I can.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm minding my business. But I'll tell you this: if it's a situation with me and somebody else, and you pick that side over there, stay your happy ass over there.
Do you see no color?
No, I'm really racist.
Okay, because you give me see no color vibes.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not racist either, by the way. Except for with movies. I'm so racist when it comes to movies. Like, it's a little. Nah, all right. Like, I'm joking, but I'm not.
Okay.
So I really prefer that my movies have like a main black character. Because sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, some white people just don't have no swag. They just don't.
Fair.
Now, you got some movies where it's just 2 main white characters, and the movie like that. Like, you got De Niro and Pacino. Okay. Like, come on now. It's gonna be what it is.
Right.
Or, was Face Off.
Okay.
You got Travolta and Cage. They did them. Ain't no main black character. Like, there's gonna be Brad Pitt and George Clooney in Ocean's 11, but you got Don Cheadle and Bernie Mac and all of them there too. So, like, with me, I don't know. Like, I'll see a movie and my wife be like, "You wanna watch this?" And I'm like, I'm looking at the cast and I'm like, probably not. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but I've watched Seinfeld and other shows that don't have a black person. So I'm not racist, but no, I wouldn't say I don't see no color, man. Okay. Like, I'm just not as confrontational as most people. Like, I feel like I'm logical. I'm trying to figure out a way where this don't have to be bad for everybody.
Yes.
It don't have
to
be.
Maybe it's not.
Sometimes it's unavoidable.
Okay.
But then it is what it is. I guess I know how I am, so I'm trying my best to not have to go. I don't want to have to be 50 Cent. I don't want to be petty. Like, please don't make me be petty. Because I can be petty. I can be petty.
Okay.
I can be petty.
Maybe
trust me.
And
I'm trying to not be. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm trying to find every possible route to not be that person. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay, so I maybe see no color is more metaphorical than it is literal, because it seems like with you, anything goes. It's like, if that's what you like, then hey, that's okay. But I feel like...
Right. I mean, I ain't got no control over your feelings. Like, that's just...
Do you believe
your feelings?
That
people's feelings are valid.
Do you believe...
They can be wrong and still be valid.
I mean, they're feelings. They're not facts. They're just feelings. Right. Do you believe that we have the right to judge people?
The right to judge people?
Yeah, like we should judge people. Or that we should judge people. Do you support judgment?
I don't know that I feel like we have the right to do it. I mean, I know we do it. I don't know if we have the right though. Like, judge not, least ye be judged. Like, I don't. I'm just. I ain't saying like, hey, go to the mall and just like talk about everybody you see walking in the like.
Well, I didn't say like unsolicited criticism, but to judge. Yeah.
I mean, you got. What, the all the little TV shows where you judge people and The Masked Singer and all these things. I mean, I guess people don't mind, but those people signed up to be judged, right?
Like the average
competition. Person. No, I know what you're saying. I wouldn't say the right to judge. I don't feel like we had a right to judge.
Interesting.
I don't want nobody judging me. I also don't care what they think.
Do.
But yeah, I also see that's the thing. I'm probably the most I care what you think, but don't care what you think person in the world. We don't care. No, I do and I don't though.
Maybe it depends on the person.
Nah, it depends on the situation maybe, but like I really. All right, so it's like you live your life trying to be a good person, so you hope people view you as a good person. So in that aspect, I care.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know I'm a good person and you don't view me as a good person, then I don't care.
Interesting.
like I know what I am, who I am. I knew before you figured it out.
But maybe if it's one person,
I'm not delusional. I know who I am. Like I have flaws. I know what they are, and I knew them before you found out what they were.
Okay, so you don't feel the need to convince people.
No.
Maybe not a person, but a group of people. So if like
No.
a swarm of us just came on your comments like, "Oh, you're a liar. You're using the money, blah blah," you wouldn't respond. You would just leave the post up.
I'm gonna have more fun with that than y'all. I guarantee it. I play like all day long. I think I learned that from Beyonce and Jay-Z. They take what they know people say and they have fun with it.
They do.
I'm like that.
But they also will get you on the back end that you don't know and they disassociate and hide their hand.
Yeah, well, I ain't all that petty like that.
Okay.
But I mean, but like I'm gonna use it to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what like I might change my screen name to scam something. Like I'm gonna play. Like my joint might say scam likely the next day. Like I'm just.
Oh my goodness.
It's you gotta. So in the movie Five Heartbeats, they said you got like they had broke out into a fight, and he said I'm gonna teach them how to use everything, every situation like for their good. So it's like yeah, I'm not gonna. Especially if I know I ain't stealing nothing from nobody. Like why am I getting offended by that?
Is there anything that you stand firm on?
Yeah.
Like what?
Business. You want to you want to fight? Like I mean, I stand firm on a lot of things. Like I don't like if I had a friend that just wasn't paying like child support, he wasn't taking care of his kids. I don't have that friend.
Okay.
Or I know somebody's like on sucker time and they like beating their wife. Like we not rocking like that. Like yeah, what I stand on, I stand on.
Okay.
I'm not this wishy-washy person
okay,
you're trying to paint me to be. I want you to know. I'm telling you, I'm not.
So it's more of the extremities, like the obvious.
Yeah, of course.
Like deadbeat dad, an abusive man.
I'm not so sure it's all the extreme things. I'm like I told you, half them artists and stuff that like they're canceled to me. I don't even care if they're canceled to the rest of the world. Like I stopped watching the NFL before the Kaepernick situation.
Have you canceled any local DMV artists?
I mean, if I did, then they not in my mind no more to be thinking of. So,
interesting. Do you hold them to?
I mean, unless I canceled them yesterday, they wouldn't be on my mind.
Do you hold them to a standard the same way you would someone on a more global scale? Like you wouldn't listen to their music.
If I was aware of something that just went against my morals, I'm like, yeah.
What about their music? Their music being.
If they don't exist to me, how can their music?
Well, hold on. What I'm saying is, maybe you don't know them personally, like you don't know what they may or may not have done in their personal life, but you listen to things that they say in their music that is to the detriment of our people or neighborhood person or whatever.
So the detriment of our people versus somebody saying, you know, I put this pill in her drink and blah, blah. Like, I'm not... Then you already told me who you was.
You don't support Rick Ross.
I'm not rock. I think he's the most fraudulent person in the world.
Well, he is, and we can go on from beginning to end on that one. Yes.
Yeah. So, I'll say this though. I don't want to say political, but again, I try not to disrespect other people. So when I have mutual, I don't want to say interests. When I have mutual friends, like Wale was signed to Rick Ross. Like this is so I'm not gonna get online and start a Rick Ross bashing campaign. But if I just don't rock with him, I just don't rock with him. You see what I'm saying? Or like let's say one of my mans signed to Diddy. Like I want my man to win. I'm gonna say like, bro, look, I don't think that's the way. But I'm like, at the end of the day, that's his decision to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, but me not rocking with Diddy is me not rocking with Diddy. Me cutting off the person who used to babysit my little sister or who gave me $40 for the transportation money to get to work. Like it's like that.
So would you still support their music?
The person that I knew that signed to the person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
So what's the difference between Diddy maybe writing music or producing and those, those
Oh,
things are like R. Kelly.
Did he making money off of my friend?
Correct.
I don't know. That's why everything's a situational thing. Like you have to sit down and weigh the pros and cons, and it's like, am I gonna do this? And if I don't, does he understand? Like it's hard to say. Like that's the one quote I've loved as a child. It's hard to say what you would do until you put in a situation.
Fair.
Like that's just the most honest assessment.
Interesting. I don't know. You still give me fickle vibes.
That's fine.
That's just.
I think people in general are fickle. I think everybody's fickle as hell.
I have fickle ways for
I
sure.
I think people are so like I seen like the NFL was canceled.
Yeah.
The numbers were low. They're back up again. The same people I seen said they were protesting the NFL started watching football again, and nothing changed.
Correct.
They was like, "Oh, I ain't rocking until Kaepernick play again." Kaepernick never played again. Them same people are. You see what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'm not judging nobody because I know that I've changed my mind, or whether it was because of growth or you got, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is fickle. Like I've seen people. 50 was dead wrong and canceled because he talked about Irv Gotti, right? That man died. Like that's dead wrong. I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. But then, oh, these jokes and memes about Big Meech are hilarious though. So this nigga 50's funny. He's crazy. People are fickle. They are. Like you could cancel an artist right now and then that artist make a hit record and it's played all day. Man, hey, look, man, I don't know about that nigga, but this song go. Like I see people say that type stuff all the time. So like we're all fickle in some degree or fashion. Like I stopped watching the NFL because I felt like there was too many of those players having domestic violence situations and they were getting slaps on the wrist. And I just don't condone domestic violence. Okay. So like the Ray Rice incident, for example, when I seen that video and then I found out that the Ravens had seen the video 3 months prior and he was still on the roster, they only dropped him because the video went public, which means they were not going to do it.
Most cases, yeah.
Then I'm just like, all right, I can't rock with this.
So you don't watch the NFL?
I have not watched the NFL since 2014. But that's me.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell anybody that.
Right.
Now, people would be disappointed if they came to my house on Sunday and we kicking it and they thought they was going to watch the game because you're not watching it in my house. Mm. There's been some people that learned that and they just had to do. You can leave or you can stay and we can do what we was doing. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. But nah, it doesn't. And then my wife chose not to watch it along with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I was a Cowboy fan. She was a Redskin fan. So it was the little...
Cowboy!
It was the little, the little argument, the back and forth, the little... But it wasn't that serious to me. Like, I could cut stuff off and not care. Like, I could be watching the show and I'm like, you know what? Episode 7 wasn't as cool as the first 6. And then I will stop watching the series. Like, I don't care that much.
That's good. I mean, you should be detached.
Yeah, that's... Things. I've always, like, nothing's that serious.
Okay, fair. Well, you said you were going to ask me, I don't know what you were going to ask me, but I would like to know your perspective on the DMV music scene. Like,
now?
Now. Because I do want to come back and be more consistent.
I can't give a perspective on it now.
Why?
I'm not listening.
Because what? Where did you...
I stopped... Even with the music industry, I really stopped listening to new artists post 09. So Wale's class, Drake, J. Cole, Big Sean, Kendrick, all, like, I stopped listening to new artists after that.
Because what?
Music just wasn't what I want. Now, I'm sure there's artists that were still making the type of raps that I like, but it just didn't seem like it was a lot. Like, the sound changed and... I don't want to be the old person in the room. I don't want to be Joe Budden. Like, yo, I'm lyrical. And when we used to rap like this in the cypher, like, these artists can't freestyle. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
So I listen to what I still like. Like, that's the thing about the past. The stuff is still there.
Yeah.
I can go listen to Tupac and Scarface and Eminem and AZ and not like I can still go play that. It still exists. I just haven't gotten into a lot of the new music. I mean, now here and there I listen to stuff, and I mean, like, that's even with the music industry. Okay. And as far as the local artists, I haven't checked for a lot of them. Like, now sometimes songs come across the timeline, or it's in somebody's story or whatever, like, and you'll hear it, or a name just gets big to the point where it's like it's unavoidable. Like, like I know who KP Skywalker is, but I can't say that I know any of his music. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the scene is where it was where, like you said, the open mics are just in abundance, or there's any that I want to attend, or I'll say this, as far as the battle rap scene, there's like 4 or 5 leagues. That didn't used to be the case.
Yeah,
Um,
that's popular.
then you got like I said, because of social media, and because I'm working at a high school, I'ma know the names of the youngins that are popping. Like that's just it's unavoidable. But hey, I don't have any desire to just tap in. It's like not just because you have this free car music and I don't want to hear this violence or drill or whatever. Because when we were rapping, what I was listening to was the same music. It just the only thing changed, not the lyrics, is the beats behind them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if it's I grew up and I'd rather hear something more mellow or what. But like I'm not tapped in.
So how do we get back to where we were, where there was?
I don't know that we have to.
Okay, well, how do we evolve? How do we become more
Evolution comes with just life. Like things are going to change regardless. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in my time, we wanted to go rap with a go-go band because the go-go band had a core fan base. You know that it's packed. Now, because I was at an event DC Decades through DC like History Week. It was Legends. It was Nonchalant and Stinkin' Ink and all them, and they were talking about like how we can get the rappers back involved with the go-go scene and help build the go-go scene up. The thing is, like I said, we were trying to build a fan base, so we were trying to borrow from the go-go bands. These youngins have 10 high schools, all the kids following them, and they got 30,000 followers. They don't need the go-go bands. They got more fans than the go-go band. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is evolution. Instead of me selling the CD hand to hand, I can go direct to the consumer on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So that is a evolution thing. The downside to that is because people can get popping on the internet.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to go through the grind of an open mic to get their name and their buzz up. But that also, the reason that's a downside is because when their popularity enables them to get booked at the Howard Theater, the Fillmore, and they can sell it out. We don't know if they can perform. We've never seen they don't have no practice doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got popular on the internet. They didn't get popular going through the stages that we went through. But everything's a gift and a curse because there was one point where there was like 20, 30 people here with a record deal. Whether it was for a single or an album or what, like that was unheard of when I first started. You know what I'm saying? Like when I started, like while they ended up getting a record, Tabby, I don't even know what his situation was. He never really had a record deal per se, but you know he had like support. But then you got Glizzy and Trail came along, but then it was a point where it's like everybody, if they had a hit song, nationally or locally, it was like, all right, sign them. You know what I'm saying? So that's evolution in itself.
Do you have faith in any of the previous artists coming back? Like a Will the Rapper when he was more popularized, or like when Slutty Boys was popping off the rap scene? Like,
I think anything's possible, but sometimes I wonder if they're even trying. Like it's like sometimes in life you look at things like, okay, I missed my chance. Like my time was then. You may continue to try. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just age out. I mean, it sucks that we do that.
You think there's a time limit on it, the age limit on it?
It sucks that we do that with rap, but yeah, like if you're already in it, maybe not.
Okay.
But like with basketball, like we look at people that have been playing 13, 14 years as like, you know, there's a vet and it's time retiring soon. But when you look at it, they started like after 1 year of college. So 14 years in, they're only 33 years old.
Right.
And we're looking at them like they're old men. And it's like, he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're so talented as a people that we can go do something else. We can start acting, start producing like this. Like I just told my wife that like Chris Webber from the NBA made a beat for Nas. Like he's produced for other people. Like you don't even know these things, but I'm like, we don't be limited to nothing. But before you continue to interview me, because I don't know how this turned. No, you are definitely interviewing me. So questions. I'm gonna ask you an interview question. Okay. We about to talk about religion. I don't normally do this with people. But this seems to be something you enjoy talking about.
Really?
You don't think so? You don't feel you do? You don't feel you do?
I mean,
See, you got that I'm about to duck smoke look about you. You know what? Before we go to religion,
yeah.
there's something else you equally love.
What's that?
You love reading.
I love reading.
What's your favorite book ever?
That's hard. That's
Is it?
That's very
I have
hard.
a favorite book.
That is very hard.
I have a favorite book.
What's your favorite book?
The Bible, you heathen. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a dictionary. No.
Oh my goodness.
No, my favorite book is the autobiography of Asada Shakur.
Okay.
So the reason why, the way the book is written, like, it's cliffhangers at the end of every chapter. So she talks about being a Black Panther, and then she talks about her life growing up. So she'll be telling this story when she's 13. It's like, it was a warm summer day, and the ice cream truck came running down the street. I ran up to the ice cream truck, and I said, hey, can I get a... And then, right when you're about to learn the next thing about her life, the judge bangs the gavel. I can't believe his verdict was... And you're back in court.
That's fun. That is fun. That's a good read.
Makes you read the book. I read it in one setting. I was done with the book in 2 hours.
Yeah, because you want to continue.
Because you want to...
Well,
the human nature, the nosiness I didn't think I had, clearly came out. Best book I've ever read by far.
Okay, that type of cliffhanger when it's integrated into the book is fine. But when I finish the book, if it's a cliffhanger with no sequel, that happened to me twice. Where I started having a little bit of... Start having like a little bit of trust issue with books where I have to go look at the last page to see if I'm going to go ahead and spend all this time. Because it's so unnecessary. Like, I get so drawn in, especially with fiction.
I don't read fiction.
Oh
I don't like fiction.
So watch TV. It's so much better.
I don't watch TV a lot. But the question I asked you, Marvel or DC, somebody else gave me that question.
Okay.
I don't even know the difference. My wife and kid go see all that Marvel stuff on that. I do not like fiction. Because my mother made me read so many autobiographies growing up. Like, my mother... So, motivational speakers were a thing. So, like, we read Les Brown, and I read Willie Jolly, and Think and Grow Rich, and The 7 Habits, and How to Win Friends and Influence People, and Rich Dad Poor. All the books that adults are reading now, I read at 13.
My goodness. He lives a great life.
I did. My mother lived 2 blocks away from the library. I swear she did it on purpose. I'm pretty sure she did it on purpose. My mother's like that. I'm trying to tell you, she's freaking genius. So, like, I did more book reports for her than I ever did for school. Like, my mother, reading is what... So, it's a funny thing with my stepson one day, right? He had some homework. And he always comes to me for math. My wife doesn't like math. I'm afraid of math. That's fine. He should come to me. Mm-hmm. So, he waited one day for his mother to get home and then told her that he had homework with English. I was like, I've been here with you all day. Why didn't you ask me? He said, I always see her reading. I was like, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I get it. But I was like, do you think I can't read? I was like, I know you don't see me reading all the time now, but I'm like, I read so much.
Right.
Now, I know there's so many books, but it's like I read so much as a child. Like, I don't know, like, I might have been burnt out. Like, I read a lot. I was like, but then he had, so the funny thing was, he had some poetry homework. I was like, why you ain't gonna ask your mother? These are words. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, but you rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, but yeah, like, so what are some of your favorite books then, if you don't have a favorite?
I would say The Magic of Thinking Big is one of my favorite books because it helped me expand my perspective. Like, something so simple as, like...
Did you expand your perspective?
From the business aspect.
Okay, all right. I'm listening.
I will say, my belief in God and the way that I believe God has evolved as I continue to read the Bible, not for the plain text, like what surface level, but then coupling it with spirituality and science.
Do you know why I'm smiling right now?
Why?
Because you got bashful and shy when I brought up religion. You just gave a dissertation and was about to preach just now. You went full deaconess. But we're going to come back to it, though. We're going to get back to these, back to the books.
So,
and remind me to mention Think Big. I know that's not what you said, but I'm going to come back to that book, though.
Yeah. So, yes, The Magic of Thinking Big. When I say expand my perspective, maybe from just not thinking so small. For example, if I sold shirts and I had like a merch brand, thinking small would be, okay, let me do individual sales. Let me try to build up my Instagram and I can get like a bunch of traffic to then go. But like thinking big is, if I'm actually producing the shirts on my own, why not get contracted with a tech company if they have like their uniforms, or a school that has uniforms, or if I made a book, making it a part of a curriculum and selling this bulk of book to these students. So I didn't really have that mindset. I'm thinking like person to person, and whatever, if I can get this type of group. So in many different aspects, to your point of things being situational or whatever.
There's a flip side to that. So this particular brand that I'm wearing, right? It's called EPU Apparel. It says Never Black Down.
Okay.
The young lady's an entrepreneur. She's from here, black girl. Now, of course, as an entrepreneur, you want the big contracts. She's already
Yes.
thinking big,
Yes.
but I don't want anyone to underestimate the power of the individual. So
Okay.
I wore this. I saw a teacher at the school that I hadn't really been around her. She's seen it. She's like, I need a medium and a 3X for me and my husband, just because I was wearing it.
Yes.
I went axe throwing on my birthday, last weekend, and the guy at the register was like, "Bro, that joint tough." I ain't even remember what I had on. I had looked down. I was like, "Oh yeah, nah, this joint just it fit the social climate." To me, during the pandemic, the police were all over the news for killing us and all that. So Never Black Down, just it was perfect. So then his man came up to the register. He was like, "Oh, that joint hard." He was like, "Man, right?" Like I just told. So sometimes you're just a walking advertisement, and
That's
you never
great.
know who you're going to be
That's true.
in contact with. I could run into the person that has the contract while you're emailing them, trying to reach them. They seen it in real time on me. I ran into the president of the company. Bro, that's tough. Yeah, man, I make these joints in the house. I need 100 of them. I just circumvented the whole. I'm not saying that happened, but it's possible.
I agree
So,
with that.
I'm never not thinking big, but I just don't ever doubt just the word of mouth of it all.
Word
You know
of
what I'm
mouth
saying?
is most powerful.
Just the streets taking it over. I feel like if a kid in high school gets anything pop, like I feel like kids in high school, kids can get anything popping. That's just music, fashion. That's just what they do.
Okay.
And there's so many of them in a cluster, like you know what I'm saying. And it's I don't want to say monkey see, monkey do, but it's follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? So, but both ideas, like I don't want you to think, yeah, if I sell 10 of these a day, then I'll make $225. That's and you capping what your goal is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not that person. Like I feel like I've never sold a car. I've never been taught how to do it, but I feel like I can sell a car. I just feel like I have the personality. Because, I mean, for one, you came to the dealership. You came to buy a car.
Right.
It's just a matter of which car I sell. You have to make it work with your lifestyle and your budget. That's it. You came to get it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to sell you the car.
Right.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember once a guy was trying to sell a CD. And I said, rap. He was like, nah, if you just listen to track 7, I got my headphones right. Bro, rap. I'm looking for something other than just the music. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't rap for me on the spot. I didn't buy a CD.
Fair.
It's a confidence that comes with it. So as far as thinking big, it's kind of broad. Like, yeah, don't limit it, whatever, but it's so much more into that business thing. But so what I was gonna say about think big, right? No, more so gift of hands, right? So Ben Carson has been 3 different people in his life.
Agreed. Maybe more.
When he was a child, crazy. You tried to stab your friend. You know what I'm saying? Your best friend in school, like, used behavior problems, slight learning issue. This is why we don't judge. This man became one of the greatest surgeons of all time. You know what I'm saying? Of all time. So that's why we're not prejudging people or why we shouldn't, because we just don't know. That's the rehabilitation thing. Like, somebody tried to stab their friend in middle school. We could have locked him away in Boys Village and never seen, you see what I'm saying? Like, we don't know the potential that's there. So that goes back to that discussion.
Pause. So where's the grace with R. Kelly? Is it because, he's older now?
Yeah,
and
probably.
So, wow.
No, I wouldn't say
Because
that.
children know.
No. I would say maybe if, in fact, you're guilty, the amount of time you did it, like, was there ever any remorse there? Like, that, see, with me, I want to sit down and talk to you. I want to look, like, I got my own questions. Forget what you was asked by Gayle King. Forget the prosecutor. This is me, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? But again, I told you I'm going with a gut feeling.
Okay.
I don't have to be right. It's just how I felt.
Right.
And then also what I was saying, because then he became the idiot that he is now with the politics. But that's just, but Gift the Hands is a great book. You know what I'm saying? Great TV documentary miniseries situation.
But okay, so you
books. We stand on books. We stand on books. We stand on books.
Okay, but
stand on books.
It's his medium. It's his I wouldn't buy a Ben Carson book.
Now. Then yeah. Now. No. One of the book actually, Gift of Hands might be over there autographed to me from when I was like 13.
Really?
Yeah, my mother made it her business to
Okay.
have me meet these people that wrote these books, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of them I have autographed. Like a lot, actually. I know this looks that's your thing. You're just like, oh my god, I wish.
I'm actually having a party in April just so people can give me books.
I'll buy anybody a book anytime. Like if you're gonna read a book, I'll buy you a book. There's no. I once went. It was a store at the Boulevard. I forgot what it was, but it was some bookstore and it was closing. So I went in there and I told people I'm like I'm here. I tweeted it. I was like, if anybody want a book, like I bought like 15 people a book that day because I'm like, if you're gonna,
Did I know you?
probably not. If you're gonna read though, like why would I not get you a book? Like I bought one girl a book about lighting. DJ Iron, I bought him this book about like the Beatles, like anthology. It was like this real big crazy book. Somebody else wanted The Alchemist. Like if you're gonna read, like really, like yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, so I'm not buying you a drink at the club, at the open mic, or none of that.
Book.
I buy you a book. You gonna read? Anybody want you want a book? I'll buy you a book. Definitely had no problem with a book. So, and you should read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. That would help with the business.
Yeah, I bought it. I haven't. I
Read
buy
it.
them in bulk.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's one of them books
lot.
I'm sure that's on the top 20 of all time.
It's white book with red letters? Yeah.
And you know what's funny? Because like I said, I read it at 13. 14, I get to high school. At Parkdale, they had, the hallways were named. And because of the wordplay of it all, Carnegie Hall, the first hallway upstairs was Carnegie Hall, where my first period class was.
Wow.
Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Shout out to your mom. That's
my mom's the
huge.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
My mom's really her. Like, really.
I love that.
Had I grew up with my father, and I mean, I'm not saying my father went around, but if I only lived with my father and not my mother, I'd be a drastically different person. For sure.
Wow.
For sure. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So, but I love the fact that I'm probably a mixture of both. Like my mother's from South Carolina.
Okay.
God, family, education.
Love it.
Father's from Northeast DC.
Love it. Great combo.
It's a little different. Both of them, family came from like country areas, like father's West Virginia. So like I know I'm both of them. I'm well aware that I am both of them.
Yeah. It's a book that I like called Ikigai. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's like Japanese philosophy on how they have a lot of I believe the word is sanitarians. Like
You
a
love
lot of
quotes. You love quotes.
Do I?
Yes, you do. You love. I mean, no, and anyone loves a real like relatable quote. And that's the thing about life. Some things only happen once you can relate to it. So, being on a metro, ride a train as a kid, right? I would see those 5Ks, the AIDS walk, the breast cancer walk. I always wanted to do the 5Ks. I never did it until I had someone I knew, like I could walk for. Like I knew someone that had AIDS. I did the AIDS walk. I knew a kid that had autism. I did the autism walk. My friend had breast cancer. I did. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not that people don't care. It's just they don't have an attachment to it. Right. Just like with me fundraising for sexually abused kids, I know I have friends that were raped and abused, and if someone didn't donate, that don't even mean that they can't relate to it. Maybe it's too much to think about, but let's say unfortunately someone touched your child some years later, like that cause now means something to you. Like, but that's how we are. It's not that people don't care about stuff. Sometimes it just doesn't hit home.
That's a nice way to put it. It doesn't sound good to say that you don't care.
Yeah, I mean, because I never thought that people didn't care. Sometimes people aren't in a position to do something. Sometimes people don't think that their donation is going to change anything. Sometimes people don't think that the situation can be changed at all. It's like, you know, I've been donating to this research and they still ain't found a cure. Yeah, well, they're not going to ever find it if they don't have the fund. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes it's just you're unaware. So I remember once being younger, seeing a homeless person have on, like, some real clean, like, Nikes, like, some fresh joints, right? And I'm just like, oh, he lying. He ain't homeless. Until one day I donated some shoes to a homeless drive. And I realized, I'm like, yo, the shoes I donated just didn't fit no more. They weren't messed up.
Right.
that was a scenario for that guy back in the day, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it because I know it was just the ignorance of not knowing.
Right.
So sometimes people just have to be made aware of situations. It's not that they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may not care. Some people be like, well, look, when I was down bad, no one looked out for me, so I ain't going to look out for nobody else.
Right.
And then you got people like me who like, okay, when I was down bad, nobody looked out for me, so I am going to look out for somebody else because I know what it feels like to need help.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was down bad and somebody did look out for me, so I'm going to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it just, or for me, forgiving, right? My parents didn't go around doing the charity work that I do. But they did it in a manner that affected me. My mother had me in church.
Mm-hmm.
So in church you hear, God loves a cheerful giver. It's better to give than to receive. These things are embedded.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to watch her give back physically.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would always go to like the Stadium Army, the little market they had on Saturday. He bought stuff from people on the side of the road. Like he supported small businesses before supporting small businesses was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one way. One day, like he was a roofer. So one day, the company he worked with, there was a guy. I'm not really sure how they came across them, but it was like this guy who was like asking for money outside the store, and like he was a real like big dude, and like they asked him, he's like, "Are you afraid of heights?" Like they out the blue, they asked him, "Are you afraid of heights?" He was like, "No, not really." He was like, "All right, well look, we working on this project right here on this street for the next 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give you anything. I'm gonna let you earn it." And that guy worked with them for the rest of that week, but he worked out so well they kept him for like 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's giving back to me. You know what I'm saying? You gave an opportunity. So seeing those things, and then the crazy thing about that, how my father was involved in that situation. I was living with him. We were living in Capitol Heights, and there was an open mic that night, right? So I like while they were still working on the job, like they didn't need me anymore. So I left. I got on the train, went home, showered, got ready. I'm like, well, I got somewhere to go. So I go to open mic. When I get home from the open mic, it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. That guy is on our porch. Because keep in mind, he's homeless. They don't know how they're going to find him the next day. So my front door is wide open because my father's one of the people that can allow that to happen. I told you where he's from and how he is. So the front door is wide open. But I'm so comfortable with my father that I don't have a fear in the world that our front door is wide open because I know he's not allowing anyone to get to me. Mm-hmm. Right? So the guy is like asleep on this. It's kind of like a comfortable chair, but it was on the porch.
Okay.
The front door is open. This is me assuming. So in case that guy has to go to the bathroom, he can walk in the house and go to the bathroom. I guess my father's not comfortable enough to let him stay in the house per se, or maybe the guy didn't want to. But he slept there. He has access to the refrigerator, and those are my memories. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that.
Your life dictates how, you know what I'm saying, the things that you saw. Everybody didn't have those experiences I had, so that's why maybe you don't care so much. Or not even not care, but like that's why it doesn't tug at your heart the way it does. You know what I'm saying? So, like if somebody might not have donated to Santa Claus because they don't have a kid.
Did you stop that?
Yes.
Why?
I was investigated by the Office of Inspector General because someone at my old job lied on me. You know, I go to the casino. It's like, oh, he must be taking the funds that people donated. Like, I had a job. The same place for 20 years. I have my own money. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing is, what happened in the course of their investigation is they realized that I was giving away more money than I even raised. You know why? The money I won or my own paycheck. Like, that's the only way that adds up, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and then even then, there was the assumption, like, well, did you take the money that people donated and did you just go to the casino and win and flip it? Problem with that is, what if I don't win? Now I can't go buy the things I said I was going to buy. So if I don't buy the things I said I was going to buy, then you know I lied. But the fact that I show you everything that you know what I'm saying? So nothing came of the investigation because there was nothing to find. So that's why I can't get offended. The reason I stopped it, and I didn't have to stop, they told me I didn't have to stop, but I just didn't want to give them more reasons to just be in my business and all in my life, and like it's annoying, you know what I'm saying? And then also I just kind of felt like it ran its course, you know. In the first 7 years of Santa Claus, I raised $100,000. There's an award right there from the National Children's Alliance. Yeah, it's a national award.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's not a local participation award. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? So and I thought I was done then. So I did 6 more years, 13 years. I mean, it ran its course. And the last few years, like, I don't know if people were getting tired of it or what the case, like, the amount I was raising was going down, and it's like it was a lot of effort. So it's just, on to the next thing. So the last few times I've done things, I've done it big for the homeless. Like, I went out, had 100 pairs of boots the Christmas before last, 100 whole outfits, and we closed and fed the masses. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I stopped one thing just to pick up something else. So yeah, no big deal.
Are we gonna get a charity concert with you starring?
No.
Not with you?
No, never.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
One of the most talented people out of the DMV.
I don't make songs. I battle rap. So there's been attempts.
Please.
There's been attempts.
Okay.
There was almost one that would have been headlining. I was actually going to battle. I wasn't going to headline, but I was going to battle. Light Show was going to perform. Backyard was going to perform. Someone else. I don't remember. So no, we tried, but sometimes, weather happens, business happens, and, things happen and things don't happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the flip side of it. Are we going to ever get you back doing a show where you have people eating baby food and the footage never comes out? She had me eat baby food, y'all.
I did,
Baby food.
I really wish the interview could have come out, and
Me too. It was a good interview. It was
we
fun.
need to do a round 2.
No, I'm not eating baby food again.
Okay, you don't have to eat baby food, but definitely a round 2 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you've been trying to do tonight. Stop interviewing me. This ain't an interview.
It's natural.
This is a casual conversation.
It's a conversation.
It's natural for you to just be,
I don't have a lot of friends.
Being nosy.
So, I don't.
My phone doesn't ring.
I don't.
You can call anytime you want. You can tell me about the chapter you just read in whatever book. I would say we can have a book club, but I'm not going to read these books. I'm just not in the mood to read like I once was.
Fair.
It just is what it is.
Do you do audiobooks?
No.
Okay. I don't need that. I don't like audiobooks. I don't even like stuff online.
Unless it's narrated by Morgan Freeman. If Morgan Freeman was narrating the book, I ain't going to lie to you. I might, because it's the voice of God.
Yeah.
Literally. You know what I'm saying? You ready to have this discussion about religion? You ain't say yeah. Like, what are you so shy for? It's me.
I'm a shy person.
It's not like it's 10 million people that can see this video on YouTube or anything. And
you
then
never know. You are very big.
And then at you or something and be all on your Instagram
I'm
giving their opinion.
I am comfortable with the conversation. I am comfortable with the conversation.
All right.
It's not so black and white. And so that's why I'm like, when you're confident about something, you will easily speak to it. When you're in your learning process, you're like a bit reserved about it. But
so are you in your learning? Are we all in our learning process? Like, I ain't the end all be all knowledgeable, biblical theologian. I didn't go to Oral Roberts University and become you know what I'm saying? I'm not a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be more Pastor Troy than I am Pastor somebody else. Like, I don't.
Oh my goodness.
All
okay.
right, so are you, like, is there a denomination for you, first of all? Did you just believe in God?
That's a great question. I was trying to figure that out.
Thanks.
No, that's a really great question.
No, thank you. I do this.
Oh, I
real.
do it too?
I do this for real. I do my research, ma'am.
I appreciate it. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know a name for it. I mean, I could categorize as spiritual. However, it's overused, and sometimes spiritual gets equated to burning sage and candles and crystals and so I'm gonna say I follow Christ.
So the rapper Scarface is a very spiritual person, right? It's probably why I love him the way I do. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever heard him say like he was Christian and I mean, he may be, but like you know how people say universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because they don't believe in God, it's because they don't want to offend someone else's belief system.
I don't like that.
That people are afraid to say what it is they believe in.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. That's what I believe in. I have friends that are Muslim. I have friends that don't believe in God at all. And it's not my job to, like, me and my mother debate this a lot. I don't feel it's my job to convert anyone. It's my job to live my life in a manner that I see fit or that follows the principles and guidelines or whatever I believe in. And if you see that there's something that I have that's missing in your life, and that makes you inquire, then I feel like I still did my job. You know
Your
what I'm saying?
friend that doesn't believe in God, do they believe
Never
in the
talked,
universe?
never talked to them at all about it in
that?
my life, and I know that they at once did believe in God.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, because I'm sure something happened. It changed that, but so like I was always taught like we don't question God, right? Like I've seen devout Christians have someone die, and it's like, why God? Why did you do this? You know what I'm saying? I don't. I just don't have a. I don't have that question in me. So like when I lost my job last year, it was like maybe a week later. My wife was like, "Why don't you seem disturbed?" I said, "Because eventually I'll get another job." Yeah, I know the times are probably going to get hard, and I guess that's what she was worried about because that would all fall on her for the most part. But I just like questioning God just ain't in me. I was like, and it wasn't even a question. I already knew why. He was like, I've been told you to leave. You ain't leave. I made you have to leave. They didn't fire you. I removed them. They didn't remove you. I removed them. Like that's really what happened. Same thing with friends. Like people get mad at you. They block you or they unfollow you. Whatever. Like they did not remove me. They were removed because whatever's on the way, they weren't meant to be a part of. Right. Like so that's how I am. Like my mother's Christian. Like I said, she grew up in the South. I don't follow God or Christianity just because of my mother's beliefs, but following my mother is not a bad thing because I done told you how smart she is. My mother's a good person, right? So there's that reason mixed with I have my own personal experiences. Like, to me, I'm a miracle. I could have very well not been here. I was born, and I wasn't even born with epilepsy per se, but I used to have seizures up until like the age of 5. So my mother said one day she's driving to church, sitting in the car, had a seizure. My sister's in the car. I guess she knew how to deal with it. My sister's 4 years older than me. So maybe she knew how to deal with it. I'd have had them before, right? My mother said she kept going to the church, and there was like a time when you could like talk to the pastor before the service. Went to his office, he prayed for me. I never had another one. Why wouldn't I believe I'm a miracle? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I believe in God? Then just the fact that just rare things happen in my life. Like, even when I'm freestyling, like, I feel like I'm tapped into a whole nother place. I do not be here when I'm rapping. Like, the moment I stop, I'm like dumb humble. I'm like, you like that? I could have said this instead of that. But the moment it's happening, you can't tell me I couldn't beat them in a battle while I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'll hear it, and I hear it a split second before you do, like in my head. You know what I'm saying? Before I say it out loud. But it's like, what the heck made you say that? Like, how'd you put that together? Like, it's really a gift. You know what I'm saying? So, it's various reasons why I believe in God, but I'm just like questioning Him. Just nah, because I didn't say like if somebody died and I said why'd you allow that? I didn't ask why did you ever allow them to live in the first place. I didn't ask you that.
Yeah.
I didn't say, why did you bless me this last time with this, and the third? So I'm not going to blame you for everything that goes wrong either. You know what I'm saying? So, and my brother, he once told me that I have like this deeper understanding or appreciation for life that he doesn't even think I fully understand. He's like, you rationalize everything. So.
Yeah, I don't know. When people say that, why God, like, why did you take this person from me? I don't think that that's God. I don't think that God is controlling the world right now, like this system at all.
One thing about death too, and I mean this is a little off topic. Like we're so selfish with death. It's like why you do this to me? Why I lose this person? And that's why we cry. Like, dang, we lost Whitney Houston, man. Can't nobody else sing like that. I'm never gonna get that experience again. It's what we lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's similar to suicide. And so when there are people maybe battling suicide, from what I've heard, the conversation is more so you have a family, you have kids, you have people that care about you, versus directing the conversation more
to what they're suffering
to their,
with.
So yeah, we definitely do.
Everyone definitely doesn't know how to talk to someone about suicide. I learned that. So last year, while not working, it's funny because I'm not suicidal. I don't have a suicidal bone in my body to the best of my knowledge, right? Going through the worst year of my life, but the word suicide came in my head. And it's so hard for me to explain to people that I wasn't saying I wanted to commit it, but it's like I see why people feel the way they feel. It's like, yo, the phone ain't ringing. I don't have no money. I don't have nothing. Like, what's gonna happen if I can't find a job? So, like the stress of it all. You know what I'm saying? Um, and when I was young, I'm gonna say out of ignorance, I used to think suicide was so selfish. Just like, yo, you really gonna take yourself away from your kids and all that. But as I got older, I realized it's like you feel like there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But then I started looking at it like, I've had worse days, like individual
Yeah.
days, not a worse overall time, but worse
Mm-hmm.
individual. And I got through them all.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to talk. So during the pandemic, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I share my bad experiences. During the pandemic, I was able to talk 5 people out of suicide, and I feel the reason why is because I was so transparent about how I was feeling. I lost followers because my posts were deemed sad last year. Like, bro, I ain't have a job. And I got railroaded at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do anything wrong and got fired. Like, I really got railroaded. I got lied on. You know what I'm saying? There was tension with me and the wife because money's gonna cause that. You know what I'm saying? This is like, all right, look, I know you ain't working, but look, man, you need to go work with your friend and do this side job, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand it. Um, so it's like, damn, am I gonna lose my house? Am I gonna lose my spouse? Am I gonna lose my couch, my clothes, my like, you know what I'm saying? Like the stress of all that, and then you're just laying around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to be productive. I lost 30 pounds during the time because I started working out. I'm like, I have to do something to feel good, right? Gained it all back because I had a job and I could eat. But I'm writing how I feel. But I was doing it thinking about other people. I was like, yo, man, this ain't that, and this ain't this. And I would get DMs from people who was like, yo, I thought I was the only one going through that, bro. Like, I'm so glad. And because of that, there was one person that was basically said that they was gone. Like they didn't expect to be here the next day. Whatever they did didn't succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure endless people will respond to this IG story.
Mm-hmm.
They only chose to respond to me. They told me that they only chose to respond to me and said they didn't know why. But I knew why. Because I was so transparent. You know what I'm saying? I had another person who was not taking calls, like they wrote that. So they had their phone almost like not on the do not disturb, but like the silent mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, let me text them. I don't have to call. Let me text them because whatever time you get to see it is when you get to see it. But you're gonna read it. If you choose to respond, you're gonna choose to respond. But it's I didn't go at them the way people were going at me when they thought I was suicidal. People were writing things like, man, toughen up, yo, why you still crying? And like this is the thing, like, Mo, you stronger than that. Like this is stuff people are saying. This is why I realized people do not know what to say. But it didn't matter. I wasn't suicidal and I didn't need them.
Yeah.
I didn't. But the good thing I seen in that was they did see me. They weren't ignoring me. That's the worst thing you probably could do to a person in that situation is to ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what to say. But sometimes I think that's better too. Like if you don't know what to say, don't say nothing because you may say something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Be like, just like maybe you can say something simple or blank, saying like, I see you. Bro, like I'm here, but when you say I'm here, you really gotta mean that shit. Like when people die, people be like, "Yo, I'm here for you if you need anything," and then it's kind of like a useless platitude. They don't really, it sound good. You know what I'm saying? Just like when people say, "Check on your strong friend," they don't ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I went months during the pandemic without an incoming call or text, months, and you know how many people I know. Like that's crazy, right? And I was in the house with 2 people and still felt alone. Because my wife, she in her office, she working from home, but she's working. I'm not trying to bug her, but the kid's in the room, but he's distance learning, like they're busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm here, but I'm not. The pandemic created the podcast idea, just for somebody to come over and talk to. It was the therapy, for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you realize there's a lot that you don't know about your friends, and you want to talk. So my attachment with God is different. Like I know why I'm here. Like 50 Cent once said, I'm here for a real reason. Like I know what mine is. I make it different. Like I could never delete social media. For as much as I don't care about it, it can go weeks without posting a thing. I won't delete it because I know I post some inspirational something. oh man, there's people in the world that still care. Oh, Mo just gave away 50 pairs of shoes, or Mo gave this gift card to the kid with straight A. Like, I'm trying to counter the foolishness that's on there. And I feel like that's what God put me here for.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe that because I really believe in God because of the things that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you hear these stories from the Bible, he's like, yo, you really want me to believe this man took 2 fish and a loaf of bread and fed all these people? Bro, I wasn't there, but I've seen some unbelievable stuff in our time. Unbelievable things.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back in time and telling people back then that 300 people can fly in a vehicle across the sky, like that sounds crazy.
Right.
Or you tell them the concept of a train or the internet, like these things, the internet would sound crazy to somebody 50 years ago.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? So I'm like, who's to say these miracles didn't happen when I personally feel like I'm a miracle?
So your connection that you have with God, what will make you not
Nothing.
share that
Oh.
with a non-believer?
No, I mean, not sharing it is one thing. I'm not trying to convert people.
I don't think
per
it's
se.
convert. It's like
I'm not. All right, so there was an experience that make me not want to like ram it down people's throat per se.
Okay.
So I had a cousin who was in the streets about that life, right? And he at one point, whatever happened traumatic had him like really in his Bible heavy, believing in God, going to church, and he was trying to make everybody he was with at all times, like they outside, they on a block, they smoking, they drinking, and shooting dice, like he's bringing the Bible to them and he's trying to preach to them, like Sharif and Minister Society, like you are trying to, at whatever is going on, I'm about to give you this. I'm excited about it because I just learned about it.
Yeah.
You know that feeling when you read a book and you're excited about it, you want to share it, right?
Yes.
My mother's the same way. But the reason I chose not to do that is I watched the resistance that came from what my cousin was doing.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't ready to accept it. If people are not ready to accept it, they're going to be closed-minded to it. And I don't want to say you're wasting your breath because they hear you. They do hear you. Even when you were in class not paying attention, or so it seemed, you heard what the teacher said.
Correct.
You heard what the preacher said when your mother had you sitting there. But when you're ready to accept it is when you're ready to accept it. And it just, I feel like sometimes, like, instead of them coming to him, he was pushing them back. And I don't know. I just felt like that could be a deterrent at the same time. Even though they still heard him.
That's fair.
If they get up and go in the house, then, whereas I feel like if he just lived this new life he had and just shined his light just in their presence, they might have been like, Dad, young, he just keep getting lucky. They don't know that that's a blessing. It's like, yo, he keep getting lucky. Why does he keep getting lucky? What does he have that I don't have? And then they might sit there and be like, you know what? I don't know. He did start going to church. Everything started happening in his...
Yeah.
So I'm like, just let your life. That's just me, though. That don't have to be right or wrong. That's just my logic for it.
Yeah. I can understand that, because I will say, like, prior to my journey with God, I used to, every time I seen a post about God, I'm like, nah, I don't see that.
Right.
Like, and so I don't condemn anybody that doesn't really have a relationship, because I've had the experience where I've always believed in God,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like stuff was just being shoved down my throat. So when I talk, but I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not sharing my experience or share my relationship
Okay,
with
you
God.
sharing it on your own page is different than what I was telling my mother she was doing. Like, my mother's texting and emailing me and my sister and my nieces and stuff every day. And I was like, Mom, relax. For one, you're not even talking to people that don't believe in God. Like, we already believe. And I get that you're excited about it. I'm like, I'm telling you that you're doing too much for me. And you're telling me what you want to do and how you feel, and you feel like you're doing a disservice not sharing it. I'm just like, that's cool, but then don't get mad. It just, if we don't respond. Like, she was getting mad if we didn't even respond to it. I'm like, I seen it. I read it. I actually knew the quotes already, some of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but you don't have to do this every day. Like, you raised us the way you raised us already. You got to trust that you did a good job. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't saying that you can't call and have this conversation periodically. I'm like, but you don't have to do this all day. You just don't have to. Like, you did what you did already.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. It was bombarding, and it was a bit much. And I was like, it's making me get to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm about to just delete the text. Like, I'm not even reading them. It's like, because they're coming too often.
Gotcha. That's fair.
So, but yeah, you sharing what you choose to share on your platform is different. They don't have to tune in.
They don't have to.
But you're not sending it to them. So that's the
No, I'm
difference.
not.
That's the difference.
No, I'm not. But I will say, when I started to go on my journey, I mentioned God in every other sentence. And it was so, where I heard myself, and I don't know, it was a battle because I'm like, why do I feel bad about mentioning God? And I kind of like backtrack a little bit because I don't want to deter people away from something that could be just so, that would be so great for their life.
I mean, they've always said too much of anything is bad, even if it's water.
Too much, yes, absolutely.
So again, I'm not trying to say that too much God is it, but it's just like too much of the knowledge, or like, you know what I'm saying? If we went to school 24/7, we'd lose our freaking minds.
Yeah.
Like, you need time to receive what you was given. That's why church is every Sunday.
So you can be friends with people that don't believe in God. Well, you are.
Yeah. Because he's not a bad person. Hey, I didn't say he don't believe in the devil. Like, he ain't worshiping the devil.
You know what? Let's go back to your conversation about choosing sides.
Okay.
And you don't choose sides. And so you have
I try not to.
God, and you have the devil. So you have your flesh, and then you have like your spirit. And so for you, do you feel like you are betraying God
every day? But I also have a conscience and feel remorse, but every day. Because I don't get through one day being perfect. So of course I feel that way.
But you feel like that's you only feel that when it comes to God, but not people in flesh. Like, I don't have to pick sides because I already struggle with that with God. Like, is there any correlation?
I don't feel like I have to pick sides because of two other people's issues is what I'm saying. Like, nah, I don't know. Because again, in that situation, I feel like I could have some influence over it. Like, okay, so the other day, the issue with Ron Moulton and Nucci, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
didn't know that there was an issue.
Okay, so then
tell me the issue.
This isn't the example for you.
No, I want to hear that. I'm intrigued now.
Okay, so Ron Moulton was speaking, and it's crazy because the people that were from, like, my school did a field trip to the Go-Go Museum, where he's at. The day, and then the day after, they went on another one. So he said something about, you know, what he was trying to do with artists and having this stage and platform for them or whatever. He's like, you know, you guys seen the front porch. He was like, well, the front porch is in Maryland. This is in D.C., right? So some people are like, you know, people didn't even know what a front porch was. You didn't have to say it was in Maryland. You didn't even have to mention the porch to mention what you were doing or whatever had you. He's saying he didn't mean any malicious intent by it. I guess he's pointing out something that everyone's aware of and, you know, saying, all right, I'm about to try to do something similar. I'm just painting a picture for it. So whatever, people, you know, went at him. So the next day, you know, I guess he tried to reach out to Nucci, didn't reach out to him, didn't get to reach him. And he made an apology. He was like, if you were offended, then, you know, so there's that. But, all right, so my thing was, I know Nucci. I know Ron. I'm leaving Anacostia High School right around the corner from the Go-Go Museum. The old me would have stopped by the Go-Go Museum, went in there, stood next to Ron Moulton, called Nucci on FaceTime, hey guys, talk. The old me, because I could.
Okay.
This me, I'm at a school where we're trying to teach kids when they got something going on, or students when they got something going on, to speak up. Like, if I look over there and I see you look confused, you're having trouble logging onto your laptop. I don't want to have to, hey, do you need help? I need you to advocate for yourself and tell me, hey, Mr. Mo, I can't get into this. Can you come help me? Right?
I can understand.
Those are two grown men. They can reach out to each other. If it was that, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference with me now and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, if I felt somebody was going to die over the situation, I don't want that on my conscience, then you know what I'm saying? I'm going to reach out. So this is what I'm saying about choosing sides. I'm an artist. So there's the Nucci side of me. Ron Moulton do community work. There's that side of me. I know them both. Probably equally the same amount of time. There is no side to choose for me. Whether
That's a little that's very loose.
but I'm giving you a situation.
Yeah.
I'm looking at people's comments. I see people mad. I see some people saying he didn't mean nothing by it. I can be indifferent.
That's fair.
I cannot feel a way either way. I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. Or I could be like, all right, you know what? I see why y'all are mad. I see why y'all say this. But if I didn't have a strong opinion either way, stay the hell out of it.
Okay.
Now, if I was scheduled to be on a panel with Ron Moulton the next week to speak on some community stuff, and I was scheduled to, let's say Nucci wanted to have a freestyle rap battle on the porch, and I was scheduled to do that next week, I'm canceling one?
No. I think, and this is the interesting thing, I think we have two different pair of lenses on, because I'm looking more so of you have wronged a person, like you've actually done something that's undeniably wrong, and I can't straddle the fence.
But see, in that's I told you that's different though.
Right, so I think that's where the disconnect is, because for you it's like, oh, we have like issues, like a difference of opinions or whatever. No, you don't need to draw a line in the sand for that.
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, all right, so there's some battle rappers, right? One guy disrespected somebody's mother in a battle. Happens all the time. Grandmother, mother, children, ain't nobody off limits in the rap battle. This guy's mother was dead. Mm-hmm. That guy was aware that his mother was dead. Mm-hmm. That's just not that's not how we weren't raised that way. We don't conduct principles, morals. It's just not rocking with us. Mm-hmm. Just not. Yeah, I could choose a side there.
Okay.
Because you were wrong. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when it's a situation like that, the side can be like, I don't even feel like I'm choosing a side. I'm removing somebody that doesn't need to be in my circumference in the first place.
Right.
Because you showed your character.
Right.
If that's the situation, then I could pick a side. But there's no side picking. Like I
get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not necessarily you over you. It's I just don't like.
Like we don't condone what you did. Right. You removed. So it's either a side. There's either somebody's being removed completely, or I'm gonna fix it because it's not that serious. I don't have to choose a side in most situations. Is what I'm saying. It's either you chose for me, or hey, if y'all don't get over that BS, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to choose no side. So, like, all right, for example, here's a better example. Me and you have been friends for 15 years. You get a boyfriend. I meet him through you. Me and you are like best friends. So I'm hanging out at the house. I'm having dinner with y'all. Like, I'm bringing my girl over. We kicking it together. You and that guy, after 3 years, break up. Just weren't feeling each other no more. Y'all got to the point where y'all weren't sending texts, checking on each other. You just fell apart. You outgrew each other. There's no beef. There's no beef. I'm cool because of you. But I'm cool because y'all, he didn't do you wrong in this situation.
Okay.
You didn't do him wrong. Y'all grew apart. There's no side to choose there.
That's a little different.
I want to see.
Okay,
I'm testing you. You're not mad at me if me and him go bowling.
No, if he did something wrong to me.
No, he did nothing wrong to you. Y'all outgrew each other.
Okay, that's fine. If we were family and that was my husband and I divorced my husband.
And me and you were family.
Me and you were family.
We're cousins. Okay.
No, we're going to do brother sister because cousins are a little too distant.
Not mine.
So,
go ahead.
You don't have to, it's no beef.
Right.
But you're my family.
Right.
You don't talk to him. He doesn't get the benefits of anything in relation to me.
So, y'all getting a divorce. I know y'all getting a divorce, right? Yet divorce ain't even finalized yet.
Okay.
There's still a chance that you guys can reconcile. It's a small chance, but it's possible because you're not completely divorced.
Okay.
Do I unfriend him on social media?
No.
The day you get divorced, do I unfriend him on social media?
It's done.
He doesn't exist?
No.
I got you.
Yeah, there's no beef, but it's like, it's my family.
Now.
Children is different, but you're
hold
my
on.
sibling.
Give you another situation.
Okay.
Same divorce situation, but it's my man. I introduced him to you. Y'all fell in love. Years later, y'all get a divorce. I cut him off.
Did he do me wrong?
That's up to you.
If he did me wrong, you cut a ball. And we're going. This was I'm saying. It got to be the same across the board.
I'm just saying, like, that's my man.
Beating or cheating, leave him alone.
You're my cousin in this situation. You're not. You're not the second cousin. We see each other at grandma's house every other weekend. Cousin. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. First cousin. We slept on the other end of the bed together and all that. That's my man since elementary school, like kindergarten. Mm-hmm. I seen him every day at school. Mm-hmm. I see him more than I see you during the month.
If he cheated on me or he beat me up, you're done.
If he beat you up, I'm beating him up.
Okay.
All the rest of the cousins are beating him up.
And no longer talking to him.
Yeah. No, if he beat you up,
and
we probably dead. He's probably dead in this situation. So yeah, he beat you up. That's different.
If it was just like irreconcilable differences or outgrew or whatever, right. Which I don't believe that's a means for divorce. But let's just say that what that was. Then sure, be his friend.
Right.
But if he did something to me,
he did something to you. That's a different scenario.
Including cheating. No, you put emphasis.
No,
cheating.
I did. Yeah. No, and I'm gonna tell you why I did. Because the beating is already one of them things I told you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't put your hands on a female.
Cheating.
The reason I'm not excusing cheating, but what I'm saying about cheating is women and men cheat. In this scenario with domestic violence, it is more than likely the male hitting the female. Like, our bodies are built different.
I agree.
If he hit you, that shit is just unexcusable. Even in the cheating situation, I'm not saying cheating's not excusable. But what I'm saying in the cheating, you could, not that you are going to or want to, but you could cheat back. You could.
Okay.
But if he can beat your ass and you cannot beat him back, this is not a fair fight. Mm-hmm. There can be vengeance in the other situation, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying the possibility of vengeance on your behalf is there for one. It's not there for the other.
Gotcha.
That shit just is not okay. You cannot fight back. The other situation, you can fight back. Even if it's financially, you can take him for half of what he got. There's so many different ways you can fight back in the other situation.
Goodness. Yeah.
Right?
I see the perspective.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But if that hurts you that much too, then it's like, all right, why would I have this nigga around that cheated on you? And when you see him, that brings back all this pain. I don't want my cousin in that pain. So no, I'm still not rocking with him.
Okay. In my presence.
No, I said I wasn't rocking with him.
Okay, that's fair.
Don't add words. I'm not biting my tongue. I said what I said.
I believe it. I just wanted clarification.
Now, if he tells me that he found one of them little notes where somebody said, "Would you be my girlfriend? Yes or no?" and you click maybe, and then that's what made him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
it's a little bit of that's fair. That's fair.
I'm playing, man, but
that's fair.
So, where does your spirituality come from? What did it, like I told you where mine came from? Where is yours? What, it was always there. You always believed in God. Did you grow up Christian, Baptist, like you were in the church?
I went to First Baptist Church of Glenarden in elementary school.
Okay.
Before it became like this big mega, when it was back and had the little, white building with purple seats. Mm-hmm. I was very impressionable, and I remember going up to Pastor Jenkins when I was younger, and I was like, I want to be a pastor. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was a real connection to God. It was the fact that he was a speaker, and I was, tied into that. But my body was there. I was taking little notes and stuff like that, but I didn't have a level of understanding. Like, I surfacely knew what it was, but that's just when I went to my grandma's house, or my great grandma's house, in Capitol Heights. That's what we did. Mm-hmm. But when I was on my mom's side, I would go to the Kingdom Hall with my grandma. Mm-hmm. So it was Baptist Church and Jehovah's Witness, So Jehovah's Witness, it was less performative. There's no band. There's no upbeat music. Mm-hmm. It just felt like a drag. Like,
I don't know. I went to a Catholic church one time, and Order My Steps is one of my favorite gospel songs, right? Mm-hmm. They sung. So I was at Union Temple at one point. This is a Baptist church.
Okay.
So we had a hip hop. This is an advanced, like we had a hip hop choir. I was writing raps for the children's youth choir, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to perform at this Catholic church, and I was just like, yeah, this is not gonna go over well. They do not want to hear this hippity hop gospel rap thing that we got going on. So they performed first, and they sung "Order My Steps," and it was like no soul in it. It was like so dry. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
y'all just blew me with my favorite song. And I'm watching the kids from our church like go to sleep in the pew. And I'm just like, I feel them because I want to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But the preacher, despite the tempo of his talking and his tone, the message was still the message though.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, did those kids receive it because of the delivery?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an adult and I'm forcing myself to stay awake. I'm trying to set a good example for them, but I'm listening. I'm just like, you're giving me the same word though. It's not. It's just like the difference of listening to a poet do a acapella, non-rhyming poem
Mm-hmm.
versus Tupac over a beat.
Mm-hmm.
The topic could be the same. They can both be about Black history, but it's like one just appeals to me more. You know what I'm saying? But music is a thing that gets to us too, though. That's why the devil is the minister of music.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he could get to people too. Like I tell my mother, like, so I won a gospel rap award in '07, right?
What?
Over here with these over.
Look
I
at
think
you,
that I think that I
flex.
think that one's in my grandmother's house.
Okay.
So I was 25. I came out of church. I was feeling away. I actually redid "Order My Steps." Won a gospel award. The DMV award like actually created the category just to give me an award, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I let my mother hear the song. She didn't like it just because of the boom bap of the beat that was playing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I read her the lyrics though.
Mm-hmm.
Overly impressed. Sometimes it's the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother loves Joel Osteen. I can't watch him because I don't feel like he preaches. He's sharing stories,
Mm-hmm.
parables and stuff, but like you're not. There's no Bible to it. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's just the delivery, and that's the difference with the. You know. So my mother, what I realized is, we talking about gospel music, secular music. It's not that music is bad. It's just what we choose to do to it. It's the human element of it. You know what I'm saying? Because gospel is music. Rap, Tupac, Jay-Z, that's music. It's not music that's bad. It's what we chose to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I equally, and that's where we talk about the debate with the flesh. I love gospel music just as much, if not more, than secular music. Like I could be a gospel YouTube
like
DJ.
that.
Like I gets it in.
Mm-hmm.
And even with gospel music, me and my mother don't like the same style of gospel. Like I love contemporary, slower gospel music because I'm trying to evoke it evokes emotion. Like I want to cry. Like I have trouble crying. Like I cannot. Like if you see two tears, like you're gonna be like, oh my god, like you could cry. Like so I'm trying to get that out, like the cleansing situation. Whereas my mother likes to hear up tempo gospel songs.
Mm-hmm.
She don't want to hear up tempo regular music, but she want it. So it's just like sitting in that church. Like it prepares me. Like Reverend Tony Lee at Community Hope, their band, their choir is a go-go band.
That'll draw the people.
But not only draw the people, like it gets you hype and you ready for the message. You know what I'm saying? So his delivery is different than that pastor at Kingdom Hall for sure. The reason I like preachers and pastors is because they talk in metaphors. Like you're gonna appreciate his wordplay. I was once gonna do something and I wasn't sure all the dynamics, but I was gonna do something called like pastors versus rappers because we can do the same things. It's the same thing. Like that's why I probably always enjoy being in church. I'm just like, yo, did y'all like that's a bar? Like y'all ain't hear that? How he brought that back around and then you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I probably got some of my battle techniques from preachers.
I believe it. They're very similar to pimps too.
I mean, I can compare any two things and make them similar. I don't know if you know that. No, I can compare any two things.
Pimps and pastors are very similar. I don't go to church.
I can compare any two things. Any two things.
That was very nice of you.
But I can though.
That's very nice of you.
I can compare basketball
I didn't
and
say
drug
that
dealing.
all of them.
I'm just saying I can compare basketball and drug dealing. Like I can make anything go together. Anything.
Yeah, but some of them are a little more parallel than others.
Okay. Well, I'm listening to the pastor. I'm not outside listening to the pimp.
Well, that's the thing. So the Kingdom Hall was, a little bit on the boring side, but I actually go
Okay.
time to time.
Okay.
But
But
I
you're
had
also a little
to.
bit on the boring side, right?
I am very much on the
I just wanted to
side.
see if you want to say that, but
No, I am.
I mean, I feel like I'm boring. Remember the
I
paying
don't think
remember the paying
so.
full little emoji when he had the money and he was like, "Why are you with me then?"
Yes.
You're boring. Well, I'm boring too. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Boring's subjective.
It is.
There's people that probably thought I wasn't boring. Like, oh, Mo, you always at the open mic every day of the week. Blah, that don't sound boring. I mean,
It doesn't.
I don't do nothing. I watch $5 bin movies from Walmart all the time. I'm boring.
When is your next performance?
It's not. You've never seen me battle in person, have you?
No.
You want me to dish you right now?
Yeah, diss me right
No,
now.
I'm not.
I want to.
No, because I don't even play around like that.
But
because
my skin is thick. Please do
no,
it.
no. Your skin's not that thick. Trust me.
It really is.
No, it's really,
I've heard.
it's not. It's not. First of all, I don't think it is, and second of all, I don't know how to play battle. Like I will really go in.
Do it.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Brittany
Because
Straight.
no. So, my label mate
Mm-hmm.
once, great rapper, won best male rapper in the DMV before, white folks, right?
Okay.
He was gonna diss me on his project, and then I was gonna respond on like this DJ's mixtape or whatever, right? So he made his song, and he let me hear it, and I told him it wasn't good enough. Cause like he was trying not to offend me, but he was still trying to make a good track. I was like, bro, I don't know how to play, because if I half-assed it, then there's a chance that other people could say I lost, and I wasn't gonna take that risk. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna play. That's why I'm not gonna do it. Because your skin is not as thick as you think it is.
It is.
You'll really be at home questioning yourself. You'll be like, yo, really?
I've heard the worst.
No,
the worst.
no. Listen,
I've
listen.
heard
Listen to
horrible.
me. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
No, you do not want me to
You
do
don't
it.
want to.
No, I'm not going to.
You
Because
don't
I'm a
want
nice
to
guy.
rip me this
I'm
straight.
a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. You gonna be at home, you be like, yo, do I really look like Sammy Sosa? Because Sammy Sosa was like dark skinned and beautiful, and then like he bleached his skin, and then Mo called me Michael Jackson. Is that because I'm short? Is it because I'm like, is my skin peeling? Is it because my voice is high pitched? Like, is my hair curly? Like, was my edges messed up? Like, you'll be questioning yourself.
But
I'm telling you. I'm
art.
telling you, it's not art. It's not. It's not. It's not. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You be at home and you be in the mirror and be like, yo, I didn't even realize that I had a pimple right there. Oh my God, like my freckles, like the dimples. I thought everybody thought they were cute. Like I'm telling you, you're gonna really be
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness.
You really, we've been talking a while long. Let me see. It's 2 hours. I've never talked this long, and we ain't even get into like half the topics that we could have got into.
We have a lot. I mean,
I'm gonna stop this and start it over because I don't know